So let's make a formal introduction for our listeners. Good afternoon, Carlotta. My name is Claudio, and I'm calling you from Washington, D.C. From the studios in Fairfax City. We're very humble, grateful that Carlotta Dalia accepted our invitation to our show. Carlotta, benvenuta allo spettacolo.
Thank you. Grazie mille.
No problem.
It's a pleasure.
So this has been a very weird last 2 years with the pandemic. You know, many people at the beginning died in Italy at the beginning. It was very, very catastrophic. And, you know, if you're a touring musician, you can know, well, travel, you know, you were at home, you couldn't do gigs, you couldn't travel that much. I know how the COVID affected you, your family, you know, your life as a recording artist, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Thank you for inviting me here, first of all. And of course, the period of COVID was challenging for everybody, but I was very lucky, and my family also, because I didn't took the COVID. And so I live in the countryside in the middle of Tuscany. So I spent basically time in the middle of the nature, enjoying my family first of all. Then I practice a lot. I recorded the 2 CDs because here there is lots of silence. So I spent that year in a very, lucky way, I say, because in Italy we had in the first months a very bad situation, as and then all the bad situation went to all the world. So was really challenging, but and also when we turn on the TV, all bad news, all bad stuff. So I really appreciate my life, because also in this time was full of happiness, family, music. So I spent that time to practice, to play, and to record CDs.
This for you, man. Where you born? Let's go back to the beginning. Were you born like in a musical family? I mean, how old were you when you perhaps began taking piano lessons or guitar lesson, or I don't know, maybe your dad was playing at home, or how would you remember, if you can recall, at the beginning when you were a little girl?
I started because my mother have a big passion for classical music and music in general. She
Yeah.
played the piano when she was young, and she know very well music. And she's a veterinary, so she decided to do something else in her life, but she know very well music. She always listen good music, so from singers to classical music, but always good quality. And of course, then also my father like music, but he never studied, but they both supported me with my biggest love, which is guitar. I don't know why I started to play classical guitar. I only know that I went to my mother when I was 6, and I asked her, "Can I start to play guitar?" Because I really like the idea. You know, in the songs, you always listen a guitar, not a classical one. But I decided I want to play classical. I don't know why. And then yes, I started not at 6, because my mother told me, no, the guitar is too big for you now. So you have to wait a little bit. So I started at 8.
Yeah.
And yes, I never stopped.
And you gave, remember your first concert that you ever gave? How old were you?
My first, the whole concert, like 1 hour concert,
Yeah.
with big repertoire, I was 12 years old.
My God, man.
But then some small concerts. I also I did my first competition when the first year I was studying. So I started to play in front of a public subito, like at the first chance, yes. So yes, but at the first concert, like the world concert, yes, at 12.
Before we go into the classical music, where you listen to rock and roll band when you were in high school, when you were like, I don't know, 15, 16? You know who, I don't know, Queen was, or Eric
Yes,
Clapton was, or Peter Gabriel, or
Queen. Yes, and also I my biggest passion with music is to listen Italian songwriters like De André, Gino Paoli. I don't know if in the other side of the world they are famous like in Italy, but in Italy are like star of 60, 70 year, no? So yes, I enjoy the poetry of the song, the the, the words, no? So yes, I really like this kind of songwriters. Yes, old
yeah,
school.
and that's pretty good. And I noticed that early in your career, you end up winning like 40 several competition in first place, second place, first place in Miami, in Tokyo, in Moscow, Madrid. My God, that's amazing.
Thank you. Yes, I started, as I told you before, really young to do competitions.
Yeah,
So I had really a lot of time to do them. And it was useful because it's not the prize. Okay, the prize is something really important and something that can make you really happy if you have a prize. If you don't have a prize, something that can make you really hungry, really not so happy. But the most important things of competition is what you do during the preparation of the competition. Know after the competition, you know better yourself, your way to practice, your way to learn, how much you can ask to yourself to do,
yeah,
which is very important. It's something that can help you to grow, but is not the final point you have to reach, because we are not football players or sport addicted. We are musicians, so competitions are important in a way to um, give your best and ask your best to yourself, but it's not the arrival point. We have to look for art, which is something different. If you think only about competitions, you became an horse and not a musician, in my opinion. If
okay.
you see that competition are something in the development of your career, of your life, is something really good. And also, let's say honest, in classical music world, competitions are what, unfortunately, are what make the difference from you and another person that didn't win nothing. Because it's difficult that people, artistic directors, etc., there are people that listen the musician and decide, I want to invite this musician because he can really play. And there are other person that don't listen, so they have to know that you win something, that you have something in your curriculum that is more than some than other people. So, and this is sad, but is true. So competition are something that I suggest always to do to my colleagues, my younger colleagues, but also my older colleagues, because are good. But us, the artists, have always to remember that is part of the development and not the final point.
Good. Let's say you had they were to be in competition, let's say in Tokyo 3 months from now, okay? And you're invited to participate in Tokyo 3 months from now. Uh, how is the preparation to the process to prepare you to be in good shape in 3 months from now? And is there a prize award, like they give you, I don't know, $3,000, they pay for the ticket, they, you stay in a hotel for a week, how long the competition lasts? Oh, feel free to elaborate on that.
Let's say what I learned is that to do really a good job, the person that win the competition is not the best player, but is the most well prepared.
That's right. Yeah, I
For
agree.
sure. And so always when I was like, most of the competitions I did with no age limits, I did when I was 15, 16 years old, 17, 18. In these 4 years, I did all the competition. Like I have the paper where is written competition, okay, I apply. That's what I did. And I also, for example, in 1 month, there is a competition in the other part of the world. I study from the morning till the evening to prepare the competition. Now that I'm older, I'm 23. I think that if I have to do a competition now, is 1 year that I'm not doing a competition, and I don't think that in next month I will do, because I have lots of concerts, luckily. So I'm focused on concerts, on CDs, recordings. But if I have to do a competition in the next years, I will decide to participate 1 year before, to think about the repertoire 1 year before, and to focus my attention not to practice from the morning till the evening, but to practice, I think that 5-6 hours a day is perfect. What is perfect for the mind, for a musician, but for all the people that are studying something, is to, I don't know, have another kind of activity after playing, after the work, okay? You have to, I don't know, go to the gym, do some sports, stay out of your room, because it is so important to arrive at the competition really with so much happiness inside. Because if you are thinking all the day, like you have an exam, and you all the days you think, I have the exam, I have the exam, I have the exam. After 1 month you arrive to the exam with your breath is whole here, like like that, no? And
Yeah.
And this is not good. You have to arrive with we say in Italy, consapevolezza.
Yeah.
Like, yes, you have consapevolezza, you know what you did. You are really in peace with yourself.
Yeah.
Your body is in a good shape, because we are not like football players. But if you are healthy, you eat in a good way, you training, you are in a good shape, is good for the mind, and also when you play, because you feel better. And yes, this is what I think about how to prepare a competition. Then when you arrive to a competition, the competitions are different, so it's different the duration. It can be 1 week, it can be 4 days, 10 days, it depends. And usually important competition have one preliminary round with video, then one round with all the candidates that pass the preliminary, the semi-final, and then the final, usually sometimes with orchestra, sometimes no. And so that's the competition.
Do you get nervous when you are playing with an orchestra?
Actually, no. It depends from I'm nervous when there is someone in the audience I hate, or someone in the audience I don't appreciate so much. But if, or maybe it never happened to me, but if there is not a good feeling with the director, maybe you can be a bit nervous. But if you are well prepared, you know the piece, and there is a good relation with the conductor, you are really, yes, happy and ready to play. For example, if I have the shape of my nails, because classical guitar you play with nails, that one nail that is not good, I can't play. It's impossible for me with orchestra, without. But yes, if with the guitar is all okay, for me the problem sometimes is only if in the audience there is someone that should not be there.
Well, because they are annoying, they talking too loud, they taking too many pictures. What is bothering you? Or you know the person and you like the person? Or
I hate when people talk.
yeah, of course, you go to.
And when the phone ring during the
Oh,
concert.
that's no good, man. Yeah.
But also in concerts, not only in competition. I mean, if you want to stay with your phone, you can stay with your phone outside of the concert hall. You can take your phone and go
Go
out.
outside, right? Yeah.
So
Yeah. So when are you? So there, in your career, you don't have to go at the beginning. You were going to a lot of competition when you were, I don't know, 14 to 18, and then now you established, people get to know you and know you as a musician. You don't need to go to competition, so you can make, I suppose, a good living, and people get to know you without ever going to a competition anywhere in the world, right? So you can do a lot of gigs because now you have kind of passed the test. Okay, I won this when I was 14, 15, whatever. That's behind me. I don't want to compete. You can do a lot of record, right? Or concerts.
yes, I mean, it's as I told you before, is a part of our development
Yep.
competition. So yes, now I don't feel that for me it's time to do competitions. Also because after some years you find all the same people, and it's like when you, I don't know, win lots of important competitions, is better not to stop, but maybe to focus on concert, to focus on the real career. Then
Yeah.
I'm 20, I'm not 13. If I'm 30, okay, it's time to don't compete with people that are 20 years younger than me. So 30 years old, I think, is the deadline for most of the people to stop with competition, because you are not anymore a child. So maybe you have to understand that you have to grow up. But I'm 23, so it can happen that in 1-2 years I find maybe a competition that I say to myself, okay, I want that for myself. But it's something for myself, because if I look at my curriculum, more or less with the competition is done. But I don't want to say to myself I stopped, because always when I say I stopped, I'm not a person that take a decision. Like I can change many times what I think,
Yeah.
except then after 30 you have to stop. Because yes, then I mean, if at that age, more or less, you didn't win, you didn't want from yourself what you want, you have the answer for your question already in your hand. So don't think about it anymore and go forward. But yes, now for me it's important to do concerts, to in as many beautiful places possible, to do recordings, maybe a special one with the orchestra in the future, I don't know, but to focus on this stuff, because the competition world, I think that the guitar competition world, I think, already know me, more or less. So you have to catch other people in other fields, because otherwise we are always the same persons. Yeah. So
I got you. In terms of the, a classical guitar, the most common use soundboard are cedar and spruce. It has been a everlasting debate for many years, for what I read. Feel free to explain what do you like, what better than other, and so forth. For somebody who doesn't have a guitar, who doesn't play an instrument, what's the
I think my guitar is both cedar and spruce. I don't know if you saw, but it's divided in 3 slides, let's say, because it's a special project. But I'm not the person that say, okay, it's better spruce or cedar, because each guitar I think is unique. So I love, but also about the project. Maybe some guitarists don't like old guitars, old instruments, but only new instruments. I like both. I mean, if a guitar is good and have qualities, you have to appreciate the single qualities of each instrument. It's not that I have a general rule. I like the loudness. No, I mean, if I play a Garcia guitar that have this deep sound, and I know a special timbro or sustain, for me, I fall in love for this instrument, for these qualities.
I got you. Yeah.
Then if there is a guitar built 2 days ago, but is very warm, maybe a cedar guitar with this warm sound, very powerful and very dark, I also enjoy. I mean, I don't enjoy, for sure, there are some instruments that I don't enjoy because are not, I will never play maybe some instruments for my personal taste. But it's not that I have a fixed idea of what a special guitar I want to play. For now, I think the guitar I play is the best for me now.
I got you. Yeah, I got you. What about the string? Ernie Ball, Desiderio, Martin. You prefer
I'm the
difference?
Dario artist. I'm a Dario artist, and I only and always play the Dario strings. XT on basses and first string, and then second and third carbon, always by the Dario. And I started, to play when I was 8 with the Dario, and I never end. So at 16 years old, I became the Dario artist, and it's really a pleasure because I really love these strings.
Yeah. In terms of the guitar that you use, the instrument, I think you prefer Andrea Tacchi, but what about Ennio Giovanetti or Daniel Friedrich? Are a big difference between all of them? If I show you, if you're not looking, okay, you put your class, right? And you have 3 guitars, right? You can tell right away what the brand or not, or
Yes,
no, perhaps not the brand, but
if I have, for example, 2 months ago, I recorded a video with my Tacchi, Daniel Friedrich, and Robert Boucher guitar. And if I'm like blind and I play the Tacchi, I will recognize the Tacchi guitar, the Daniel Friedrich as well, and the Boucher as well, because it's like the 3 different voices, and really unique. There is really a strong idea. If it's a guitar that is not so unique, for example, is a project that many luthiers can do, like, I don't know, Torres copy, okay, I can understand, okay, it's not a double top, is spruce, and the strings are nylon. I can, it's very easy to understand if it's nylon or carbon.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, and for many other players, of course. I can understand very well if it's a double top. For example, if you play a Matthias Dammann, you recognize that is Dammann, or Müller, Tony Müller guitar, you can recognize them. Then there are some projects, maybe not, when a guitar is not so special, is the voice of the instrument is not so unique, so maybe you can, but with big names or big guitars, yes.
How expensive are a guitar? I mean, not everybody have the kind of money, but everybody start with, I don't know, $1,000 guitar, then they go to 2,000, 5,000, 10,000. What's the price range for a decent one? Not the best in the world, but a good one for a professional musician like yourself.
Yeah, for professional, you can find from 8, 10
$1,000,
15, 20.
Yeah.
More or less. Then you go to historical instruments, and this is not only the instrument, is the name, is the fact that there are unlimited numbers of instruments of this luthier. So it's collectionism, and not only you don't buy a sound, you buy the sound, the name, the antiquariato, so you can arrive to €500,000 for a tourist.
Right.
I mean,
and when of course a lot of people can afford it, it makes a big difference. Let's say a Torres that costs, I don't know, $100,000 versus Andrea Taki that may cost 15,000 or so. It's like owning a car, right? You can get a good decent car for $15,000, or you can have a Porsche or Maserati for $100,000. In guitar, it's the same. It's a bit different, or it's a little bit different, but not twice as much, right?
The fact is this one, that to make a comparison with cars,
Yeah.
If you buy, I think that if you buy a Porsche or a Bugatti, okay, you look, no, not Bugatti, the Porsche or the Ferrari, okay, you want to go fast, okay, maybe you are doing races, I don't know, and you want something really fast, okay. This for me is a Taki, is a Dammann, is I don't know, guitars for concerts, for players, no, for people that play concerts. Today you need a guitar that have colors, have guitars that are fascinating, but not a sound that is not so brilliant, so big, no? You need a big sound because you play in concert hall. So you don't look for a Torres, maybe. I will look for a Torres personally for a recording.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So, and if you buy a Bugatti is, I think, one of the most expensive cars on the planet because of the design, of the materials, so here is more collectionism. I don't think that you use the Bugatti to go to
supermarket.
Yeah, this is maybe you buy an old car from I don't know, the many years ago that is in a really good shape, so you spend a lot of money for this precise model, etc. This is collectionism of guitars as well.
I got you, right, yeah.
Because you don't buy a sound, you buy who used this guitar, the story of the instrument, the shape of the instrument. I mean, is it good condition, not so good conditions? How many guitars did this luthier? The name. I mean, Torres invented the guitar, so that's why it's so expensive. It's like a Stradivari, but with violin is different because yes, it's a totally different story, because Stradivari, I mean, concert artists want to play Stradivari. With concert artists of guitar doesn't want to play Torres in concerts. So,
but for a recording, yes. But for a recording, a studio, a Torres will make a difference, right? For a studio record, for something that you want to create a CD or vinyl, right? You would use
yes.
But when you
I always love to use different guitars to record, maybe guitars that are better for a repertoire or for another is very important.
And if you don't own a Torres, because they're very expensive, a record label, a studio will have a Torres that you can use for 2 hours or 3 hours, whatever it is, or instead of bringing your own.
Yeah, I know quite a lot of collectors, and I really have a good relation with one of them, that is Gianni Accornero. Ciao Gianni, if you see this interview.
Yeah.
And he is a really nice person, and with the foundation he has in Lugano, he do really a nice job. And I played many different guitars from him, also the guitar from Ida Presti. I used it for the recording of the Ida Presti's music. I used her guitar, and the owner is Gianni Accornero. And yes, there is one collector in Germany that already told me if I want to play his guitars, I can play his guitars. And yes, there are many possibilities if you find the person that enjoy that you play their instruments. I don't think if I will buy a Torres in my life or not.
You need to be like a rich person, maybe, or
yeah, a very rich one.
maybe one day you will marry a rich guy and a football player or something, and he will buy you when you're looking for new inspiration. Let's say, yeah, you can play Bach, you can play a lot of people, but when you wanna write something yourself, Carlotta Dalia, do you listen to? Do you prefer to listen to piano players, other players that are playing classic guitar like yourself, or you listen to opera? When you're thinking to write something, how the new inspiration come to you?
I mean, in my free time,
yeah,
I always listen not classical guitar players.
Like what?
Songwriters like yes, Gino Paoli, Fabrizio De André, yes, many others, Paolo Conte, these Italian songwriters I told you before.
Yeah.
Then opera, I really like to listen. I don't know, the big classical one, like Traviata. I don't know,
yeah.
the big yes, the most famous arias or singers, because you can, yes, it's really something you can't describe by words. And yes, then piano. I really, my favorite player is Grigori Sokolov. And I also went to Naples to Teatro San Carlo to listen him live. Is genius. Then, yes, orchestra, trio, piano, violino, violoncello. Yes, many music, many different musics, but yes, not classical guitar usually.
Yeah, when I go to your country, when I visit your country with my wife and my son, I will bring you some CDs or some vinyl or band that you never listened before, that I know you have not. and I will give it to you to see if I can bring you inspiration.
Thank you, thank you. I'm looking forward to that.
No problem. I like to help people out. In terms of repertoire, I mean, yeah, of course, Johann Sebastian Bach is very well known. He was a genius, like Mozart and many others, or Beethoven. It's difficult to learn. I mean, let's say you master certain areas within Johann Sebastian Bach, and you need to learn new pieces from Bach. Are very difficult to learn. How long does it take to become proficient? To, let's say, somebody in a month from now, somebody in Rome, a theater, La Scala, whatever, hire you to do a concert, and the people say, well, it can only be Bach, right? And you only know one piece of Bach, and you need to learn another 3 or 4, right, to do like an hour concert. How difficult it is to learn this?
In my opinion, the technical part you can learn in 1 day, 1 week, 3 days. It depends from how easy it is for you to play your instrument. Then this is the technical part. Then how to do your interpretation, how to try to understand the music of a genius. It can take an entire life, and this is not rhetoric. This is true because first of all, on classical guitar, we always have to do transcriptions with the music of Bach, because also the lute music is transcribed for classical guitar. You have a different sounds, a different instrument, different everything. So in general, to understand the music of Bach, it takes a life, and it's written for an instrument in particular. So you have the same instrument Bach had, and you have lots of decisions to take, lots of stuff to think, lots of stuff to learn, but not learn technically, learn like to make your idea. On classical guitar, we have the problem, but double, because we don't have the same instrument. So we have to translate this music on our instrument, and it has to sound great, but also you don't have to change the idea, like the original. I don't know to say in English, but
That's okay. Say in Italian. That's fine. Say in Italian.
So, in my opinion, technically you can play in 1 week, but then to make it music, it can take many years.
Man,
because you will change always idea. I mean, when you are a student, it's very easy because you simply take the idea of your teacher that maybe is 50 years old. So yeah, he already spent his life maybe to understand. But then maybe you listen another teacher, another musician, and so you change idea many times.
Well, so let's say you were to, somebody were to give you 20 recordings, 20 files, right? The same piece for Bach, playing by Johnny, Peter, Mary, Giuseppe, Enrico, and so forth, right? Of course, there will be 20 different, in my example, would be 20 different interpretations. And how you decide, or the competition or the public decide which is the best one or which is a bad one?
Allora, it's a good question, because staying very honest,
Yeah,
the public in general, I don't know I really don't know. It depends from who is in the public. If he's a person like a lover of classical music, I think he can understand a mistake only if the musician stop to play, or you listen really something bad out of tune, and that your ears say no, this is not correct. So this is, I'm sorry for public, but most of the time, not always, because then there is, when the public know the music really well, you have they can listen, they can understand, but most of the time is like that. Then for other musician, there are, to explain it as in a simple way, there are many schools. The one maybe yes, more romantic, one more philologic, one more bit romantic, bit philologic. Then there are, yes, some schools, and usually people like their own school. That is a vision of the life in general I don't like so much, because I think we have to take good stuff from each one. So is difficult in music to say there is something wrong or something that is absolutely true, because also basically if in music we do something wrong, we don't kill nobody. So it's yes, it's a responsibility, but is in a really different world. I mean, it's important to have respect for the composer, for the music rules, but I think it's really a soft word.
Yeah. When you are, a kind of difficult question, when you are playing, right, whatever you play, and you have the public in front of you, non orchestra, let's say, and then you playing a piece, and within a couple of seconds, you know that you make a mistake, right? You know yourself, you make a mistake, right? Because you know the piece well, you train it. You're very conscious about the stuff, and you continue. You don't. You look back in your own recordings and say, "Man, I should have put my finger like that, or I went."
Yes, I am very critic about myself. I always make only critics about myself. If what's interesting, if I know that is me playing, I did that, I did that. If I, and this is really funny, because when I don't know is me playing, I say, oh wow, who's playing? It happened couple of times, and it
Really?
was Elvis. Yes, so I was surprised. Then I realized it was me. But here, not so good. Also, so yes, I'm always, yes, I say lots of critics to myself. Yes.
And sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not good, because then, it's a psychological thing, right? So
Yes, but because I'm used to ask always more to myself, so that's why, yes.
to get better, right? Like a piece from, let's say, I was listening to some of your recording and some stuff that I found on YouTube and so on, so forth. Like a piece like Zapateado by Joaquin Rodrigo. Um, how difficult is to learn? For me, it's so difficult. Of course, I don't play guitar. I don't play an instrument. I listen to stuff, right? I don't speak Italian, but if I see or if I listen to La Traviata or Verdi or this or that, of course I really like it. I don't need to know how the stuff came together, right? I don't know how difficult it is for you to play Rodrigo, right? And I like the beauty. I listen to stuff without even looking at you. Listen, and say, man, this is a masterpiece. How difficult is to do in that example the Zapateado by Rodrigo?
Thank you, because to say to an artist that you don't feel how difficult it is really a big compliment, because when I listen, but when in general people listen or see somebody playing in a concert really doing I don't know, with stress, you feel stress.
Yeah.
No, this can't this have not happen in a concert or in a recording, so I'm happy. Thank you. And this piece by Rodrigo is one of, I think, the most difficult of the repertoire, and I listened this piece since I was really little, so I had it in my ears. And what's fun is that we plan to record this video with these different guitars, etc. So I asked some weeks before the recording. I'm really honest. I don't want to say, oh, I do everything really, really easy, but this is the true story, really. You can ask my boyfriend that lives with me how it went, but I learned this piece like yes, 1 week, 1 week and a half before.
Wow.
And I didn't have so much time to learn it because we were traveling a lot for concerts. And but when I'm in the right week that I really want to play this piece, I have it in my ears already. It is for me really, really easy. Let's say honest. Of course, it is a challenging piece, so there are maybe parts that okay, I spend maybe one afternoon only doing these 2 bars because that's difficult. But in general, I like, and I think I do my best with when I'm really spontaneous. When I practice a lot, I program everything, etc. With me, it doesn't work. That's also why in the beginning I told you for the competition, prepare 1 year before. But now for me, when I really want to do that, when I really feel I want to do this precise stuff, because this way Carlotta works really, really good. Otherwise, no.
It doesn't.
I
What
can
about
practice 10 hours, but it can't.
the same question from let's say a piece from Domenico Scarlatti, I don't know, Sonata K 210 or 20 or whatever the number happens to be. It's the same. Is the degree of difficulty the same to learn a new pieces, or Rodrigo, is the harder, Bach is the harder, or based on your experience, it's not that difficult. Easy for me to say because I don't play, but it takes the same amount a week to learn a new piece.
Let's say if you have to play, for example, there are many different difficulties in a piece. For example, if you have to learn a concerto for guitar and orchestra by memory, okay, you need more time, but you don't have to learn the piece. You have to learn a special kind of performance. So because you want to do it by memory, you have to do it, then you play with an orchestra, so that you have to add more stuff together. So it's a particular case for me. But when I have a sonata by Scarlatti, Bach, Rodrigo, Castelnuovo Tedesco, whatever, I think that if you have in your background a good technique, you can, in a couple of days, if you practice, you can have the piece in your hand. It's not that the problem. To make it music, it can take 2 days, it can take 2 years. I mean, also because you can change many times idea, but it's not that there is a composer that is more difficult than another. I think that yes, more or less we have each of us have is time to learn a piece, to know how to play. And also it depends from yes, I think from your hands, because then if your hands go good, then you have only to put the ideas, and maybe to fix some technical stuff that are more difficult. It's not that we simply read and we play, but you need less time if you are not so flexible, so yes, so used to read and learn, is it takes more time.
Okay. I listened to a piece that you did by Astor Piazzolla. Of course, he's from Argentina. I'm from Chile. I never told you. I was born in Chile, and I came to the United States to study after high school, and I ended up staying all my life here. And Astor Piazzolla, of course, my dad liked it because he came from, tango was very important. Argentina still is very important, and that's a beautiful piece, man. You like playing Latin American composers? Well, everybody, of course,
I love
know the people from Spain and Paco de Lucía and all the John Williams, all the big names. But people, there are many Latin America, right? They're good. And,
yes, absolutely. I love to play Astor Piazzolla, but also Barrios,
Barrios,
eh, Antonio Lauro. Yes, I love this music, and Piazzolla, yes, have a special place in my heart.
yeah, you like that? Have you ever been there in Latin America and South America?
No, never.
You need
For
to go
now,
to
no, because I had to go there. No, Latin America, yes. I went to Mexico last year.
Mexico. Yeah, but South
Yes,
America.
but I had to go to other places, but for COVID was difficult. So I hope next future to go there.
You need to go to Argentina and Chile.
Yes, absolutely.
That's very nice place. Is it is your how many recordings have you done? Is available just in CD or vinyl or
I have 4 CDs.
yeah,
One is available, I think, only a physical copy.
physical?
The
Yeah,
others are on Spotify.
yeah, yeah.
And one is about Baroque music. This one that is only physical copy. Then there is the Ida Presti one. Oh, another with the pieces dedicated to me, and with pieces of last century. Then with guitar composer that are guitarists.
Yeah.
More. And then there is my first CD. I put like last one, that is a recital. I did it when I was 16, and is a photograph of me at that time.
Good for you. How many concerts do you do a year now that the COVID is kind of going away to a certain extent? But
Yeah, it is difficult to say.
yeah,
Last year, that basically was from June to December, because yes, was like half year available, because we were not allowed to go outside for some months. So after June, I think I did like 20.
yeah.
This year more, like 30, 40 concerts. I didn't have, but for only this for July, we did it. We did 12, I think. Quite a lot, yes. Then there are months, for example, April was quite, yes, quite free. Then there are, yes, all the summer really full. So I think, yes, 40 or more.
40 a year. So where in just in Europe or just in Italy, or you go to other countries as well?
During this COVID, yes, I went outside Europe. I went only to Mexico.
I got you. Yeah.
Because to go to Mexico was quite free without COVID tampon. Yes.
That's right.
But last September, and then Europe, French, Germany, Italy. I will go to Spain this October. So yes, and Italy, of course.
And then you make enough to survive. You survive out of
Yes,
music, out of the
survive
concert.
really
Yeah.
well.
So
Yeah.
you don't need to teach online classes or get another part-time job. You just making concert allow you to, I don't know,
Yes,
rent an
I
apartment and live.
yes, yes, I play, and I think I'm really lucky, and I have a good life. I think in the future I would like to also to teach. I think is part of the career of a musician, and sometimes I do some master class, and yes, I enjoy, but it's part of our job.
Yeah. You need to come to the United States to play. I would love to see you playing live one day, playing it.
With pleasure, I really hope soon.
I hope things work out. I only have another two questions, and you know, how you prevent, how many hours do you need to practice? Of course, it depends on every person, but you do like a short focus. You say, okay, today, no, today is Sunday, I want to relax, but tomorrow you do it like a job. You say, okay, I want to practice between 10 and 4, 45 minutes, 15-minute break, 45 minutes, 15-minute break, and how you avoid injuries. What's a week for you when you're not doing concert? How many hours do you practice? Or
Uh, I'm I'm really I know that serious people make a plan for the week. I don't make a plan for the week, because when I make a plan, my first goal is to destroy the plan. So so yes, if I have a day free, I practice, and maybe I practice all the day. And yes, I really, it depends. It depends. I don't have a rule.
a good plan going forward. How
My
you
rule
take it?
is don't have a rule.
That rule is don't have a rule. That's a good rule. What about the nails? How, how well that's your instrument, the nails. You need to take care of them.
Yes, I have gel nails, and I
Yeah,
do it myself.
yeah.
And yes, I think it's the best solution for me.
Because you need that's a part of your nails. Any advantage of disadvantages of social media? Do you like social media? You like to be in YouTube, Facebook, Instagram? Some people spend the whole day posting and this and that. It's good and bad, I suppose, right? But
I
what
think it's good. It's something we must use, because
yeah.
otherwise we don't
And we
succeed.
have never met you, right? So yeah.
Yeah, it's useful. It's sometimes it's very good for, and also sometimes makes you happy, because when it's part of the human, when people likes you, you are happy. The best, the not the bad part in the social media is that also people don't like you, or maybe there is lots of nvidia,
Yeah.
people, yes,
MB, yeah.
people often lies, and or are not good persons, or are not happy with their life. So with with social media, the bad part is that everyone can talk.
Yeah, yeah.
So is only this, but I mean, I like social medias, I use them, but yes, we have always to remember that life is outside this phone. So yes, it's a, I think that an artist, a person that survive thanks to the public,
Yeah, yeah.
have to use social medias, because it's a huge let's say huge potential that you can use.
Mm.
So it's okay to use them, but not to focus all our life on that. I think someone makes a comment that you don't like, you simply don't read. But
Yeah, you don't want to get mad if somebody say, "Hey, this is you upload a video to YouTube and they say, man, Carlotta is the worst. She make a mistake here, she make a mistake there." They're always going to be crazy people, So
yeah, but simply ask them, okay, can you play it better? Can you do?
Of course, I cannot. Of course, I
No,
cannot.
no, no. But I mean, all these people. When I don't like something, there are many players, many stuff, situation, news that I don't want to read, and simply I don't read. I don't need to come to another person and say, I don't like you. So simply that, be
Yeah,
happy with your life, I will
yeah.
say.
Of course, you're going to. When is the next concert? When are you? When are you going to be playing? We are going finish in October. I mean August. When are you going to be playing? September, October. You have some
Yes, yes,
gigs
the
aligned.
next concert will be in north of Italy, I think on 9 September. Now I
Yeah,
don't have the
the
schedule,
calendar. Yeah,
the calendar. Then I will play in Barcelona.
yeah.
I will teach a master class there,
Wow.
and I will play in Rome and other places. Now I don't remember the dates, but
A
yes,
good gig coming up. And
yeah,
so the last
last
question.
concert was
The,
on my birthday, so
good for
it's just.
you. You're very young. Why you say, "Oh, I'm just 23," like you were 50 or something like that? You have, Carlotta, you have the whole life in front of you. So, enjoy it, make good money, and keep on practicing, keep on learning, and you're very good in what you do, Carlotta. It's, as I said before, I don't play an instrument. I don't know how to read music, nothing, but I listen to a lot of music. I mean, 3 hours a day from the last 50 years. So from rock, from classic, from sound score, electronic music, and everything in between, piazzolla and everything. And I enjoy good quality, and your stuff is good. Your stuff is good.
Thank
Plus,
you.
you're a very good person too. Some people, I have met a lot of people that are very crazy. So you are good, and you are a normal.
Thank you. It's the huge compliment.
No problem. Feel free to mention your channel, your website, where people can buy your music. Feel free to.
Thank you. You can find me on Spotify, YouTube,
Yeah.
Instagram, Facebook. So if you like, follow, and we will stay in touch.
But man, it was very nice talking to you, Carlotta. Good luck to you, and I hope to see you one day playing live
Thank you so much. Hope
in
to
your
see
own
you.
country, in Italy, in your own country.
Thank you so much. It
Okay,
was
no,
a
but take it easy. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you.